Greetings, Barony enjoyers, and welcome to the 12th installment of the Barony Class Guide series. Today's class guide will be going over the Ninja, which is probably the single most powerful class in the game if you have the skill to use it. It is occasionally used in speedruns of the game due to its very min-max nature, and it has one of the simplest gameplay loops of any class in the game. The starting inventory for the Ninja is a beautiful thing. Like, this shit is calling to me from the character creation screen like a fucking siren. Armor is light, but effective. You've got an Assassin's Hood, which gives +4 backstab damage, a Bandit Mask, which marks you as an enemy of shopkeepers, but only while it is worn, a Tunic, which does nothing, a Black Cloak, which does nothing, and Boots of Speed, which give +1 dexterity. Your starting weapons consist of a decrepit crystal sword and 5 throwing knives, an insanely good combo. The rest of the starting inventory consists of a potion of paralysis, a potion of invisibility, 3 scrolls of teleportation, and 3 bear traps. The starting skills of the Ninja are the simplest shown in this series so far, and a bit of a spoiler for anyone watching all these videos as a series, the Ninja has the simplest skill layout in the entire game. It gets 60 stealth, 40 ranged, and 60 swords. Those skill numbers are only matched by the Accursed, but even so, it's only because the Accursed has 70 in magic, but regardless, you can tell at a glance that the Ninja is just a rogue that has been completely tuned to combat. No tinkering, no alchemy, no appraisal, you get sword and range skill with an equal amount of starting stealth as the rogue. The rogue is going to be using several different tools to deal with the dungeon. The Ninja just shoots you, throws a projectile at your head, or slices you in half. You want to know how to play the Ninja effectively? It basically just boils down to run fast and kill everything super fast. I wish I was joking, but there's very little nuance outside of that. At the very start of the game, you have very little health, but your gear is capable of huge damage. Your throwing knives have some amount of armor pierce, so they're perfect for killing skeletons, and really just about anything that comes your way. If you need to deal with something quick, use your crystal sword and get a charged backstab. This can kill a lot of monsters and humans in one hit from a very early point in the game. If a particularly strong enemy wanders your way, like a troll or funny bones, then you can use your bear traps to paralyze them and whack them to death. Like the Joker, you start with 3 teleport scrolls, so if you fuck up and are surrounded by enemies, pop one and hope you don't end up somewhere worse. You can also use that potion of paralysis to stun a strong foe coming your way, either to kill them or make a quick getaway. This can also be done with your potion of invisibility, making it easy to sneak away or get a few stealth kills much easier. This class basically just plays like an assassin. You do super high damage but are somewhat reliant on stealth to not be overwhelmed. You can't block, at least not in the beginning, so you need to sneak up on enemies to kill them. This changes once you've leveled up a few times because the 3 stats that level up the most for the Ninja are Strength, Dexterity, and Constitution. You will start as a glass cannon, but within just a few levels, you'll become a normal cannon. Really, it's kind of absurd just how good this class gets it. You get stupidly good weapons with stupidly good stat growth. You just need to not die for like the first 2 or 3 floors and you're good. This is another one of those classes that plays the same in single player and multiplayer. In both scenarios, you sneak around to an enemy's backside and you hit them with a sword, or you throw knives at their face until they go down. The only difference is that in multiplayer, there are other people to steal your XP or get in the way of your knives. They can take aggro for you, but you know, it's easier to let hate into your heart than have a positive and enlightened soul. One last thing before I get to weapon and armor recommendations. Since you start with a bandit mask, you can wear that and kill any shopkeeper that has items you desire. Then just take that mask off after he's dead, and now you've got a bunch of free shit without being wanted for murder. For weapon recommendations, we have some options. Since your primary weapon is a sword, then you should pray that King Arthur or Shelob spawn, so you can get Dernwyn. If neither of them appear, then congrats, you're using that crystal sword for the whole game. You'll want to hold on to it and hope you happen upon some repair scrolls. If you're in a multiplayer game and someone is a mechanist, then they can eventually repair it for you, but you will likely reach 100 in swords before that point, and when you get to 100 in swords, it is then impossible for your swords to go down in durability. So, until you reach 100 in swords or get some method of repairing your crystal sword, find another one and use it. You'll also be using ranged weapons since you have 40 in that skill. This will initially be your daggers, but if you want to keep using thrown weapons, try to find some crystal shurikens. I got lucky in my playthrough because the shop in the Gnomish Mines just so happened to be selling exactly 5 of them. So, using the money that was inside the walls of the level, I replaced all of my daggers. You can also use the bow weapons as well. I like longbows the most, but you can also get our good friend Kirsa Lakatos, appearing once again in a class guide, even though I didn't get it. Recommended armor. Oh boy, you'll never guess. You gotta get fucking naked. If you're gonna min-max the ninja even further, well, you need to be at max speed at all times, so this requires a complete lack of body armor. As usual, the hands, head, feet, face, and cloak slots are all fine. You don't really need a different headpiece, as the assassin's hood helps you out from the very beginning, but if you want to be a ranged ninja, then you'll want to try and find a Hood of Whispers. Face slot items can vary. I used a rose for a little bit, but then replaced it with a plague mask. Other face slot options would be an eye patch, mouth knife, phantom mask, or sweetgrass sprig. The hand slot can just be filled with the Jinny's brace, and the feet slot can keep the boots of speed you start with, or you can eventually replace them with iron boots, because you will get to a point where losing one dexterity doesn't really matter. Miscellaneous item recommendations are the usual: magic reflect amulets and cloaks, a backpack, a skeleton key, but one specific option would be a ring of slow digestion, as this makes it so you will need to carry less food since you won't be getting hungry nearly as quickly. This allows you to move faster and have more open slots for different items in your inventory. Finally, we get to race synergies. Wouldn't you know it? They're all good in this instance, mostly because the class itself is so good that it doesn't really matter what race you choose. Vampire is the best combo, as it usually is for stealth classes, but innate levitation makes it that much easier to get into secret levels or just zoom through levels. Skeleton doesn't need to eat and gets a free revive. Succubus can teleport and polymorph at will, plus use cursed items. Incubus can remove the weaknesses and resistances of a foe with arcane mark, plus use cursed items. Goatman gets super easily obtainable buffs, plus he can eat tins. Automaton Goblin gets increased durability on equipment and doesn't need to exclusively rely on swords, and Insectoid gets some innate spells and can eat rotten food. Everything works to some degree for the ninja. It comes down to what you would prefer to use. In short, speedrun the game, pray that Dernuin spawns, and get the whole party banned from shops because you forgot to remove your bandit mask. And that's it for the Ninja Class Guide. If you enjoyed, then like and subscribe, and have a good one.